Om Shanti. Good morning, Diamond Morning. Today Baba is giving us so much of sustenance through the Murli as usual. And the main point is how to be this so soul conscious, this acute stage of soul consciousness. He doesn't even want us to remember the body, because when we remember the body, all the bodily things come in the mind and we are not able to remember Baba. So let us see what Baba, listen to what Baba is saying today with great attention and love. It's Murli of the 22nd of February 2022. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, you are the true Vyas who relate the true Gita and give happiness to everyone. You have to study well and also teach others and give them happiness. Question: what is the highest destination for which you are making effort to reach? Answer: to consider yourself to be bodiless and conquer body consciousness is the highest destination, because body consciousness is the greatest enemy. You have to make such effort that you don't remember anyone except the Father. You have to shed your body and go to the Father. You should not even remember your body. This is the effort you have to make. And the song of Baba's Murli: take us away from this world of sin to the world of rest and comfort. Om Shanti. You living beings, you children, understand in your hearts where Baba is now taking you. He will definitely take us back from where we came. Then he will send us into the world of pure charitable souls, to the land of living beings. There are the words elevated and degraded, and so this will definitely apply to living beings. Only when you are in a body can you experience happiness and sorrow. You children understand that Baba has now come. Baba's name is always Shiva, and our name is, if Baba's name is always Shiva, what will be our name? He says very nicely here, our name is Saligram. Even the Saligrams are worshipped in Shiva temples. Baba has explained that one sacrificial fire is of the knowledge of Rudra, and the other sacrificial fire is of Rudra. So the sacrificial fire of knowledge is of Rudra, and the other sacrificial fire on the path of devotion of Rudra. People especially invite Brahmin priests from Benares to conduct a ceremony of a sacrificial fire of Rudra. In Benares, there are many temples to Shiva. They call it Shiva Kashi, but it was originally called Kashi, and then the English people called it Benares. The name Varanasi has only recently been given. On the path of devotion, they do not have knowledge of souls or the Supreme Soul. They worship them separately. They create a large lingam and many small saligrams. You know that we souls are called saligrams and that our Baba is called Shiva. They make all the saligrams one size, and so there definitely is a relationship between the Father and the children. Souls remember, O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, we are not the Supreme Soul, but He is our Baba. You have been given directions to explain these things to others. Day by day you receive directions. You must first of all give others the Father's introduction and enable them to claim their inheritance. First of all, you have to explain and prove that He is the incorporeal Father, that Prajapita Brahma is the corporeal Father, and that you receive the inheritance from the incorporeal Father. The Father now explains, Shiv is my only name. I do not have any other name. All other souls have many names for their bodies. I do not have a body. I am the Supreme Soul. Excuse. Baba asks, children, who is your greatest enemy? And who is your greatest enemy today? Baba says, those who are clever and sensible would say that body consciousness is the greatest enemy through which feelings of lust arise. There is a lot of difficulty in conquering body consciousness. There is effort in becoming soul conscious. For birth after birth, you have been interacting on the basis of your bodies. Now, you know that souls are imperishable and bodies function on the basis of this. Those who are religious minded teach us that we are souls and not bodies. The name soul is always one, but the names of the bodies change. A soul sheds a body and takes another. The Father tells us, what He tells us, you have to go to the world of pure charitable souls. This is the world of sinful souls. It is a Ravan who makes you corrupt. There cannot be any human being with 10 heads. However, no one understands this aspect. They don't understand the 10 heads of Ravan. 5 belong to the 5 vices of women and 5 vices of men. So Baba says, however, no one understands this aspect. Everyone takes part in the play of the divine activities of Ram. Not all of them even have the same opinion. Some consider all of these things to be imagination. However, they do not know that corruption is referred to as Ravan. To abduct someone else's wife is corruption. At present, all are corrupt because they indulge in vice. Those who do not indulge in vice are called, what do you call those who do not indulge in vice? Obviously, viceless. That is the kingdom of Rama, whereas this is the kingdom of Ravan. The kingdom of Rama used to exist in Bharat. Bharat is the most ancient of all. The first flag hoisted in the world is that of the Sun Dynasty deity religion. At that time, even those of the Moon Dynasty do not exist. This is now the Sun Dynasty flag of you children. You now know your destination, but then you forget it. Students in a school can never forget their aim and objective. Students never forget their teacher or their studies. but you forget both of them here. This is such an elevated study! Exclamation. You claim your fortune of the kingdom for 21 books. Therefore, you should study daily very well in such a school. If you failed this cycle, you would fail every cycle, and then you would never pass. Therefore, you should make so much effort. You have to follow Srimad. Srimad says, imbibe very well and also inspire others to do so. If you do not follow God's directions, you will not claim an elevated status. Ask your heart. So what question should we ask our heart? Am I following Srimad? You must not consider yourself to be too clever. Ask yourself, do I follow Srimad in the same way as Brahma and Saraswati? Am I studying and teaching others? You are the Vyas who relate the true Gita, not the Vyas who wrote the Gita. At present, you are Vyas, the children of Sukdev. And who is Sukdev? The god of happiness. Of course, Krishna's father was also Sukdev. So Baba says, you are children of Sukdev, the god of happiness, and you give happiness to others. Sukdev, Shiv Baba is the god of the Gita. You are his children, Vyas, the ones who relate the true story. This is a school, and you can tell each child's number from the way how you can tell each child's number in this school, from the way each one studies. That is revealed, whereas this is incognito. Here, you can use your intellect to know how worthy you are. Baba receives evidence from the way you teach others. Children write, Baba, so-and-so shot me with such an arrow that I became yours. Some cannot say this even when they come in front of Baba. Some daughters experience being beaten because of purity. Some become Baba's children and then leave Baba because, why do they leave Baba? Baba says, because they do not study well. Otherwise, the Father teaches so clearly. And what he teaches? Children, simply remember me and study. You will become rulers of the globe through this knowledge. You can write on a board outside. And what to write on a board outside? You can receive liberation and life in a second, like King Janak for 21 births. You can become the masters of the world of heaven in a second. Only the deities would be the masters of the world. That too would be the new world, new Bharat. Bharat that was new has now become old. No land other than Bharat can be called new. If you call something new, you also have to say it is old, because once time passes over it, that which is new becomes old. So Baba says we go to the land of Bharat, which is completely new. Only Bharat becomes 16 celestial degrees full. No other land becomes as full as the full moon. They begin after half the cycle. These are such deep secrets. Only our Bharat is called the land of truth. After the truth, there is then falsehood. At first, Bharat was like the full moon, and then darkness came. The first flag is that of heaven. People sing that there used to be paradise. We can explain all of this very clearly because we have experienced it all. Now, Baba says, how we ruled in the golden and silver ages, and what then happened in the copper and iron ages. When all of this enters your intellects, you will experience so much happiness. The golden age is called light, and the iron age is called darkness. This is why it is said that when the Satguru gives the ointment of knowledge, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. Look how Baba came and awakened fallen ones and the innocent mothers. Hardly any wealthy people are able to become alert. At present, Baba truly is the Lord of the poor. It is only the poor, not the wealthy, who are able to become the masters of heaven. There is an incognito reason for this. Here, you have to sacrifice yourselves. The poor do not take long to sacrifice themselves. And this is why there is the example of Sudam, very popular story on the path of devotion. It was said that Sudama gave just a handful of rice and received a palace in return. He was supposed to be a very poor person. Baba says, you have now become enlightened, but you are also number wise. The light of everyone else has been extinguished. Such imperishable parts are recorded in such tiny souls. It is a wonder. This is not the power of science. You now receive power from Baba. This truly is the imperishable cycle that continues to turn. It has no beginning or end. Anyone new who hears this will end up in a spin. Here, too, some who have been coming for 10 to 20 years are not able to understand or explain to others. At the end, you will know everything about how so-and-so will take birth to so-and-so and what will happen, etc. Those who are Mahavirs, in brackets, brave warriors, will later on have visions of everything. At the end, you will see the trees of the golden age to be very close. There is the rosary of Mahavirs. First, there is the rosary of 8, and then that of 108. At the end, you will have many first-class visions. It is remembered that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, enabled the arrow to be shot. They have made up many stories in the play. In fact, it is not a question of a physical arrow. What would mothers and Kumaris know about a bow and arrow? It is in fact the arrow of knowledge, and it is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who gives them the knowledge. These are such wonderful things. However, children, you repeatedly forget the one main thing. The most severe mistake you make is that, what is the most severe mistake? Is that you become body conscious and do not have the faith that you are souls. No one tells the truth. Throughout the day, hardly anyone can stay in true remembrance for half an hour or an hour. Some cannot even understand what yoga is. The destination is very high. You have to consider yourselves to be bodiless. Make as much effort as possible so that at the end you do not remember anyone. Some very good knowledgeable souls who have knowledge of the Brahm element, the element of light, think while sitting on their seats that they will merge into that element. They have no awareness of their bodies. At the time they shed their bodies, there is dead silence all around. People then understand that a great soul has left his body. So just imagine, they do not have the knowledge, but they go so much into that remembrance of the element, they forget the body. And so the impact is such a dead silence when they leave their bodies. When your children stay in remembrance, you will spread so much peace. Only those who belong to your clan will experience this. All the rest are going to die like a swarm of mosquitoes. At that time, you will have developed the practice of being bodiless. You practice this here at this time. There, in the golden age, souls shed their bodies and take others. Here, you know that you have to shed your bodies and go to Baba. However, you mustn't remember anyone at the end. If you do not even remember your body, what else remains? It is this that takes effort. Continue to make effort, and you will pass at the end. You can recognize those who make effort. They continue to reveal themselves. The mothers in bondage write such letters which those who are free would never write. They never even have the time. Those in bondage understand that Shiv Baba has taken the loan of these hands, and they will receive a letter from Shiv Baba. Only after 5,000 years will they receive such a letter from Baba. So they think, why should I not write a letter to Baba daily? They write it with their kajal stick, that is their eye makeup. They have such thoughts and write, Baba, I am the same Gopika as in the previous cycle. Just imagine, they write with so much intoxication and love. If they do not have a pen, they write with their kajal stick. I will definitely come to meet you and claim my inheritance. If she has the power of yoga, she will free herself from bondage. In that case, you mustn't have attachment to anyone. You must explain with cleverness and save yourself. She tries very hard to fulfill her responsibilities to both sides. Mothers feel they should take their husbands with them as though it is their duty to explain to them. Purity is very good. Baba himself says, lust is the greatest enemy. You must conquer it. Remember me, and I will make you into the masters of heaven. There are many such daughters who bring their husbands with them. Those in bondage also have parts. There is assault on weak and innocent ones. It is mentioned in the scriptures that there are those who are lustful and angry. It is not a new thing. You receive the inheritance for 21 births, so you do have to tolerate a little. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning. From the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say, Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharma. Points to practice for today. First point. Cut away all your bondages with the power of yoga and become free. You mustn't have any attachment to anyone. Second point, follow fully all the directions you receive from God. Study well and also teach others. Do not consider yourself to be too clever. And Baba's blessing for today. May you be an embodiment of awareness and power and make your life an easy yogi and with the Father's sustenance of love. Baba explains the blessing. Souls of the whole world call God Father, but they do not become worthy of His sustenance or this study. Only at this time, out of the whole cycle, do you few souls become worthy of this fortune. The practical form of this sustenance is an easy yogi life. The Father cannot bear to see anything difficult for the children. It is the children themselves who make it difficult by thinking about it. Let the sanskars of being an embodiment of remembrance emerge, and you will receive power. And the slogan for today, in order to experience the carefree stage, constantly have thoughts of the soul and of God. In order to experience the carefree stage, constantly have thoughts of the soul and of God. Om Shanti.